You have returned, victorious. I know that you had a chance to change our telling, to break the Maid and the House of Ballads from their natural course. Yet, you did not. You struck down the Witch Magware and restored our legacy, for now. But there were casualties. The Maid's death rendered Wenson impotent. This cannot stand. As a result, you have ascended to your rightful place. You are now King of the House of Ballads.
Be well, my liege.
It cheers me to see you all. What does it mean when all you've come to know is no longer? I will always have. Farewell. At last, you're back.
Many welcomes. Aye.
Always open for business. When the road is your marketplace, always looking to make a bit of coin.
but the chrysalis. Each and every one. You are as a second Budrill. I will prepare for my part while you plant the seeds. Place one on each earthen mound around this space. Do you see where? Right, good. Look around this space. For each seed there is a mound along the edge. Place one in each so that I may begin. Go in peace. Now, stand on the platform so that we can begin. What? Why do you remain? That's not how the ceremony goes. You were supposed to give yourself to the sprites, as Bodril always did. Instead, look at them. You've killed them all. Well, of course they were. What else would they be? So lovely they're flowering. Had they lived, they would have spread through vale and hill a lustrous fluttering of wings and tails and claws. This I had not considered. Mortals forever perplex me. You are not Bodril, so I must make allowances. Very well. Although this was not as I hoped. You could only do what fate permits. But since Bodril should be gone, so should you. Leave Brunwath. But first, have this. A gift of the flowering. Never before has Bodril failed to return in the time of the flowering. What can it mean, mortal? Go in peace. Ogress, you surprised me. What are you doing down here? I see my Jotun have failed at their orders. But did Padaxes send you? Lysander, perhaps? Tell me. Those fools have no idea what I'm capable of, which is obvious if you're all they sent to stop me. You act as though you're surprised to find me here, as if you weren't sent here to stop me, my pursuit. But you're too late. Even now, my deathless servants rise from centuries of slumber. It is clear I cannot let you live, but answer me this, and I'll grant you a swift death. Which one sent you? Was it Padaxes or Lysander? Fine. Whether you're an agent of the Rose Court or the Onyx Tower, you can take your secret to the grave. My spell commands untold legions. Soon, both of their houses will crumble. You, however, will not live to see their ruin.
You're back. Glad to see you made it out of there alive. We felt the earth shake and you hadn't returned. But no matter. Our town is forever in your debt. Please, take this. It's not much, after all you've done, but we would like you to have it. The healer's work is never easy, but thanks to you, she won't have to stand by and watch the sick suffer. The boggarts will always trouble Dyden Hill. As long as we can keep a supply of Plague Shield, we'll survive this malady. Disgusting little fey vermin. We're all glad to be rid of them. More ruins beneath the caverns, you say? I wonder who was there before the boggarts moved in. Well, we've weathered this storm. Pray Mystyra we weather the next. I hope that's the last I see of those brutes in Dyden Hill. Or anywhere, for that matter. The town gets healthier by the day, now that those little beasts are back in their den. Dead, I'm afraid. Got the blood plague and wouldn't rest. I feel for his brother and sister. St. Hadwin's. It's north of here, through the woods. Mystyra keep you.
Thaddeus, dead of the plague.
Step carefully in the forest.
Hello.
If you're buying goods in Didenhill, it's Cora Bennick you want.
Can I help you? Interested in blacksmithing or... Alchemy, you're welcome to our doors are always open.
You return, and in your wake, Dalentarth blossoms. The flow is rearranged, now and forever. Nash's brood is at an end. You have destroyed what was written, and made a new fate for Dalentarth. Even your darkest ally walks a lighter path. And yet the Tuatha still spread, marching with Prismeer and pain. You have only delayed our doom. You have the power of an immortal, and yet the humility to ask for help. Little one, I envy your grace. You shall carry my blessings with you. You must know this, Quickling. The age is changing. Immortals are passing, and the future belongs to the young races. If there is a future to be had. Go, and stand at the heart of the She. There you will find Issa, and perhaps you will find wisdom as well. Nash and her brood would have spread across Dalentarth and brought the taint of Prismeer with them. So it forever was to be, until you set about to stop it. Only the path of your own choosing. Stand at the heart of the She. And if that path includes the gardens of Issa, I shall allow it. May your path be long and evergreen.
the architect laboured, he found an inferno. There, in the heart of the Feywood, the fire raged. It consumed all life uncontrollably. He faced the inferno, but could not quell its hunger. In despair, he looked upon the shield.
Welcome to the Gardens of Issa, home of the Summer Court, and the warm heart of the Feylands. It is a rare occasion for us to welcome a child of dust into Issa, but it is equally rare that Nero chooses a champion. Pleased to meet you. I am Chancellor to the High King. I pray you enjoy our hospitality. High King Titarian is Lord of the Summer Fae, the font of all our wisdom, and first amongst the immortals. And since Godflow tragically murdered the High King of the Winter Court, Titarian is the greatest and last true leader left of our kind. The sapling of the World Tree bears centuries of great wisdom. Of course, long-lived as Nirlam is, it is still regrettably mortal. Even all greatest mortal wisdom cannot compare to the perspective given by true agelessness. Begging your pardon, of course. We are the Summer Court, the very embodiments of courage, honor, and all things bright and proud. Some envious few in the Winter Court would call us arrogant and self-righteous, as well as all manner of other epithets. But remember, we are the ones who stayed true to tradition, while they turned to barbarism. The Tuatha find new recruits from our ranks. The ranks of the Fae were not always sullied by the presence of anything so coarse as the Tuatha. Once, the Summer and Winter Courts existed in harmony. But Godflow perverted the Winter Court with talk of his new god, and from that poison, the Tuatha arose. Too many mortals misunderstand the Winter Court. Our cold cousins are not evil, but merely evoke the darker truths of nature, from subtlety to decay. Perhaps it makes sense that children of dust are put off by those who embody their inevitable death, but it is regrettable that so many are misunderstood. Truly a place of wonder, as it has always been and always shall be. Here springs the life well of Dalantarth, and the greater Feylands in all directions. It is a pity that some of our kind have fallen to such degenerative states, but we cannot shed a tear for their weakness.
We are quite aware of the conditions on the outside, but it is not our way to interfere. If the great... Please, come forward into the light of the font. Don't linger there. I need to see you. Closer. Oh, fascinating. I had heard the telling of your ascension in the House of Ballads, but I never expected to lay eyes upon you. You are free to roam the city at your leisure, even the trellis and the understyle. If you seek mortal trappings, then Felltown will provide. High King Titarian fulfills his role as our wise ruler. He gathers around him the bravest and most gifted advisors, and together they make up the Court of Summer. Like his predecessors, Titarian's goal is to maintain the Great Cycle, and to keep the balance that has sustained us for all these many seasons. It is a special district set aside for the young races. A haven, if you will. We encourage you to stay within its confines for your own protection. Do not worry. Felltown has the amenities that your kind need to lead a mortal life, such as merchants, a smithy, and a tavern for evening exploits. The gardens have been here since the first of our kind sprang forth. Only in the last few mortal years have we chosen to make it known to your people. With good reason. This is a safe place, and we intend to keep it that way. To that end, we ask mortals to adhere to the Peace Edict, which forbids weapons in the city. Every living creature in our world is part of a chain of death and rebirth, even the Fae. However, when we pass into the flow of our great cycle, we return again. The king rules from his throne high above on the font, and he has done so for many seasons. You should know this, since you've been sent to speak with him. Most mortals in Issa are stripped of weapons upon entering the city. However, there are a few exceptions. Ambassadors and guests of the Nero limb. We do this for your own protection, of course. There is a fire in dustling blood that must be quenched by violence. I've never understood it. The font is older than everything around you. It is the origin from which we flow. If you search for the heart of Summer Court magic, you will find the font. Once, the understyle was all around you, spreading from the garden's gates to the great trunks of the trellis. But that was before the mortals came. There is little that mortals need to know about the trellis, for it is where the worthy await their moment before the High King. Everyone who stands before the light of the sun must prepare themselves, lest they be blinded. It is behind me, up the great winding stairs. Goodbye, Your Grace.
Excuse me, mortal.
He won't stay. No one does.
High King Tatarian is waiting for you. Please place the codex before him, and he will continue.